very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to all those joining us from India, and a very good afternoon to all those joining us from Nigeria. Welcome to the Notebook 0R Inter-School Online International Debate, powered by Stayfree and brought to you in partnership with Save the Children. It's been our privilege hosting some fantastic debates between various schools from around the globe. We have been privileged to have schools from India, from Middle East, from Nepal, and from Africa. Today's match is the India versus Nigeria match, so let's see how that goes. Without much ado, let us start. Before we move ahead with the debate we have today, just a quick recap of the rules. The participants, you will have 5 minutes initially to place your arguments. The judges will mark you out of 95 based on your initial 5 minutes, after which you will get 2 minutes for rebuttal, where the judges will again mark you on 5 points, and after that you will get your totals out of 100. Every school score is an average of the scores of the two speakers. And talking of the judges, we are very privileged to have Mr. Philip Burrett with us today as the neutral adjudicator. Mr. Philip Burrett, as some of you may already know, is the ex-deputy headmaster at the illustrious Doon School. He served education for 44 years across various institutions, and at the Doon School he held various positions, including housemaster, dean of student welfare, acting headmaster, and deputy headmaster, before he finally retired. One of the positions he held was the dean of activities, as part of which he has hosted and judged thousands of debates. Sir, it's our privilege having you with us. If you could share some words of wisdom with the participants before we move ahead.
Thank you very much, Abayu. I hope I'm audible.
Loud and clear, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So very good evening to Achin, Mega, Abdul, and Triyash. I've been Googling and finding out more about your schools, the wonderful schools. And you're very privileged to be coming from these lovely schools. Let me tell you that it's not easy to judge these debates. And my heart goes out to my two fellow colleagues who are judging, because not only has the debates been very competitive, the topics have been very fair, and they've never been one-sided. Also, the connectivity all over the place has been very dodgy, especially mine today. And we have to listen very carefully to what you say, because even a couple of points here and there would make a big difference. So I look forward to seeing how you dissect the topic and how you analyze your constructs and how you put forth your arguments confidently and clearly. I must tell you that you are very privileged to be taking part in this wonderful international inter-school event hosted by Notebook. It's a privilege for me to be judging as much as you all to be taking part. I look forward to a great debate, and all the very best to you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for those kind words. Before we move ahead with the debate today, we are powered by Stayfree. Stayfree, as you all know, is a Johnson & Johnson's brand that does a phenomenal amount of great work for women's hygiene, particularly young women just entering their puberty. During this lockdown, they're particularly concerned about how a lot of women would find it difficult as they enter this new phase of their lives. Here's a short message from them that we want to share with you before we move ahead.
मेरे पीरियड शुरू हो गए हैं। पहली बार हो रहे हैं मुझे, तो काफी अजीब लग रहा है।
पीरियड्स में मुझे आसान काम भी मुश्किल लगता है। बहुत दर्द होता है।
मैं किसी के पास बैठ भी नहीं सकती और जब मैं उठती हूँ बार-बार निशान चेक करती हूँ।
घर में एक ही वॉशरूम है, तो पैड चेंज करने में मुझे शर्म आती है।
मुझे पैड को कचरे में छोड़ना पड़ता है।
She may not understand what she's going through. She just needs to know. You do. Over 2 million girls will get their first period in lockdown. Your daughter or sister could be one of them. Talk to her. Tell her.
It's normal. It's just a period.
Well, after that wonderful, heartwarming message from Stayfree, it's time to move ahead with the debate. The two schools today, the Indian Language School, Lagos, Nigeria, and Orchids International School from Jubilee Hills, Hyderabad. Incidentally, both these places are extremely close to my heart. I spent part of my career in Hyderabad, so I do know the whereabouts of your school. I know some of the very good food joints that I'm sure you frequent. And Lagos, incidentally, I spent about 5 years of my career in Africa. And amongst the two places, Nairobi and Lagos, I spent most of my time. So guys from Lagos, I do know some of your hangouts as well. The topic before the two schools today: this house believes that beauty pageants are an affront to women. I repeat, this house believes beauty pageants are an affront to women. These are the two teams. From the Indian Language School, Lagos, we have Mrs. Sumita Thakur, who's gracing us as the adjudicator. Achin Jose, or is it Jose? Achin?
Is Jose, sir.
Jose, great. So Achin Jose would be speaking for the motion, while Megha Gopekuttan speaks against the motion. From Orchids, Hyderabad, Ms. Renuka Chaudhary is the adjudicator. Abdul Rahman would be speaking for the motion, while Shreyas speaks against the motion. This will be the speaking order. Achin goes first, speaking for the motion, followed by Shreyas, who's speaking against the motion, followed by Abdul, who's speaking for the motion, and then Megha finally speaking against the motion. As you know, you will get your first 5 minutes of argument time and then 2 minutes of rebuttal time. A quick check with the adjudicators. Ma'ams, do you have access to the scoring sheets?
Yes, sir, I have.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for confirming. Shreyas's connection seems to be having a bit of problem. I've seen him join and drop off a couple of times. So we will just hope that he comes back in by the time it's his speaking slot. In case he does not, we will wait, not a problem. Well, Achin, we will start with you. So before we move ahead with your arguments, we would love to know you a little bit better. What are your hobbies? What do you enjoy doing? And which club do you follow in football?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Achin Jose, and I'm a student of grade 12. My hobbies are playing sports and listening to music. And my ambition is to become a successful entrepreneur. And yes, I support a football club, and that's Chelsea Football Club.
Good, Achin, the Chelsea fan. Let's see how you do with your arguments. If you're ready with your arguments, we will start your time now.
Nothing makes a woman more beautiful than the belief that she is beautiful. According to a survey conducted with 6,400 women ages 18 to 64 from 5 cities around the world, a whopping 96% said they wouldn't use the word beautiful to describe themselves. Not only that, 78% of women said they don't feel completely confident in their own beauty. In a world where we have girls as young as 4 years old who are put on strict diets to achieve their ambition of winning a pageant, have we as a society today reached this point where we are ready to ignore all the degradation and discrimination, not to mention the mental effects of the business of beauty pageants, just for the misogynistic few watching? Good evening, everyone. I'll be speaking for the motion, beauty pageants are an affront to women. To degrade means to have less respect for someone, thus lowering their morale and intellectual standards. Organizers of beauty contests proudly proclaim that they help promote world peace and the role of women in society, when in reality, beauty pageants turn into a contest where women are degraded and judged, encouraging women to measure their worth by their physical attributes, which can be clearly seen in the swimsuit competition, which is a part of the beauty pageant. Such an undignified competition has no place in today's world, since judging women by their face and body is outdated and objectifies them. What happened to not judging a book by its cover? Or real beauty comes from the inside? Instead of promoting the plethora of standards of beauty and talent and being a platform to celebrate and appreciate women, beauty contests today have become a competition of who has the so-called perfect body type and color. This can clearly be seen in the lack of diversity in body type among the winners of the recent past. According to research conducted, people who are considered not fit enough by the fashion industry in reality are actually healthier. Dennis Hatton, founding partner of the Be Real campaign, who said, and I quote, "Be Real shares the concern that people could see the images at Miss Universe and believe them to be a true reflection of how women should look, despite the fact that 95% of the population could never attain this supposed body ideal." In a recent study conducted, it was found that the average BMI for women moved into the overweight range when the average BMI for contestants in the Miss Universe pageant moved into the underweight range. Often, beauty pageant participants do not eat a day before the competition and also have food coaches to regulate their food intake. In fact, eating disorders and depression happen 9 out of 10 times to the contestants of beauty pageants. Furthermore, most children being forced into beauty pageants at young ages get anorexia by 14 to 16 years of age. Some people may argue that beauty pageants are good and that beauty pageants are a doorway to success for women who want to be recognized and successful. However, just as in the case of Mary Barra, CEO of General Motors, Ginny Romty, CEO of IBM, and Merlin Hewson, CEO of Lockheed Martin, who are all ranked in the top 10 of Forbes' list of world's 100 most powerful women. Becoming successful and recognized can also be achieved in 100 different ways, which are morally and ethically right, without having to degrade one another. Unfortunately, beauty pageants today devalues women's intellect and integrity. Beauty pageant women usually are forced to or choose to exploit themselves with makeup and fake hair, often causing them to be unsatisfied with their appearance when they are not wearing these things. If the effect on those taking part itself is so drastic, from mental to physical health issues, imagine the effect it has on women as a whole who aspire to be crowned one day, becoming successful with their sheer hard work and talent. I would like to conclude by saying, true beauty is when one aspires to be themselves. Thank you, and over to the moderator.
Well done, Achin. Some very forceful arguments there. Very well debated. Judges, you have access to the scoring sheets. Let's see how you're scoring, Achin. Abdul, Ms. Chaudhary, I'm sure Abhishek is trying to get Shreyas to join in. Don't worry. We will not proceed without him. We'll make sure that he joins. Burrett sir, I can see your scores coming in. Thank you. Sumita ma'am, I can see your scores as well. Thank you. Renuka ma'am, I can see your scores coming in as well. Thank you so much. I'm sure we have some of Shreyas's classmates over here in the audience. Guys, if you can help us out, this is what you need to do. The same link that you used to join, the link that lets you join as a member of the audience, if you can just ask Shreyas to use that same link, right? Click on that and we will promote him to a panelist. And I think we have Shreyas who has joined. I still don't see him though. But I can see the scores coming in. Renuka ma'am, just waiting for you to complete your scores. Renuka ma'am, I have your scores, thank you. Burrett sir, I have your scores as well, thank you. Renuka ma'am, I have your scores, thank you so much. Well, Achin, if you can see the screen, these are your scores after your first 5 minutes of debating on the screen now. Very well done. We will have Shreyas up next, so give us a couple of minutes We will just see if we can find Shreyas joining in. I think one of Shreyas's classmates had raised his hand. We are waiting for Shreyas to join us. And I think we have Shreyas. Shreyas, if you can hear me, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Hi. And we have you on camera as well. Good to have you.
Yes.
I understand there were some hiccups joining in.
Yeah, I'm still very flustered right now.
Don't be.
Just early.
All right. Take a deep breath. Calm down. We have all the time in the world. What about online? You have a lot of time, right?
Right.
All good?
Yeah, a little bit.
So Achin has gone before you. He had 5 minutes to make his initial arguments. And you will get 5 minutes to make your first set of arguments, which I'm sure you have prepared. You are speaking against the motion.
Yes.
You need a couple of more minutes to cool down, get a drink of water. We'll wait. Not a problem.
Okay, I think I'll just start now.
Yeah. We would love to know you a little bit more before you start. Which class you're in? What are your hobbies?
Right. Yes, I'm Shirish. I'm from grade 9. I study in Orchids International School. And in my free time, I like to write short stories.
All right. So Shreyas, the author, if you're ready with your arguments, we will start your time now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Shreyash, and today I'm here to tell you all the truth about beauty pageants. Now, beauty pageants have had a lot of negative stigma in the past couple of years, since they supposedly objectify women and are an affront to them. However, my friends, that is not the complete truth. And if you were to look deeper, you'd find plenty of evidence that suggests that beauty pageants are not malicious towards women, nor are they an affront. Quite the contrary. I'm so sorry, I got a phone call, a spam call. Quite the contrary, actually. Beauty pageants can help in skill building and also help in adjusting their behavior and their attitude, as beauty pageants do not solely rely on one's appearance, as many people think, but also their speaking, which can help in various other industries as well. Another fact that may not be known by a lot of people is that beauty pageants take into account charity work. Charity work is a major part of beauty pageants, and the contestants are judged on that, which means, again, your appearance does not matter all that much in the grand scheme of things. And third of all, if you still have doubts about beauty pageants being helpful, then let me tell you, certain pageants like Miss America actually offer scholarships to participants, which can help in a major way, especially if you come from an underprivileged household. I fail to see in what world this would be considered an affront when it is clearly quite a gracious and progressive act of the pageant holders to give such opportunities to young women. Now, I'd also like to mention that due to these pageants, women all over the world have an opportunity to show their talent and make a name for themselves. And they can also actually be beneficial in developing their character and showing them the importance of friendly competition, just like we're doing right this instant. And not only that, but it can also be a great journey of just self-discovery and also confidence. And you want to know the best part of it? The best part by far has to be that they're awarded for being simply themselves. The entire aspect of beauty pageants boils down to being yourself. I don't see how this could be an affront to women when it is an act of empowerment. Women are being empowered through this process. And even then, let's say that a woman were to be objectified and graded on their appearance, that's not all there is to it. Appearance is definitely not all there is to it. And this can be proven with what happened recently with Miss Teen America. Miss Teen America in 2016, I believe, they removed the very, very controversial swimwear part of their round, replacing it with athletic wear. Again, proving that looks are not there's all to it. No matter how revealing your outfit is, the only thing that counts is you're packed with personality. And to conclude my thoughts, I think I'd like to say that even though on the surface, it might seem like beauty pageants are dehumanizing women and objectifying them, that is not what's happening whatsoever. What's actually happening is that they're being given a platform to express their thoughts and bring about the changes that they want to bring. It is not about who has the most revealing outfit, but rather about who has the most appealing journey. A journey filled with dedication, hard work, and courage. And if you still think that beauty pageants are an affront to women, I'd like you to reconsider, because not only have beauty pageants given such a huge platform to these women to express their thoughts, they've also made a huge mark in the progression of equality amongst men and women. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Well done, Shreyas. Not always an easy task when you have just a bit of things going wrong before you get up on stage and to make such fine arguments. Very, very well done. Let's see how the judges are scoring you. Judges, you have access to the scoring sheet. Shreyas is the fourth column, and I can see the scores coming in. Renuka ma'am, I have your scores. Can I take them as final?
Just a moment, sir.
Sure, ma'am. Take your time. Burrett sir, I have your scores. Can I take them as final?
Yes, Shubhayu, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I will also move the scores to Shreyas's column with your permission, if you don't mind.
Let's see.
Is that fine, sir?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Sumita ma'am, I have your scores.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Renuka ma'am, can I take that score?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So Shreyas, if you can see the screen, these are your scores after your first 5 minutes of arguments on the screen now. Very, very well done. Abdul, you're up next. Abdul had a very nail-biting first few minutes of this debate, was worried that his teammate is not going to make it and he'll have to now fend for a 200-point debate all by himself. Abdul, before you start, we would love to know you a little bit better.
So the first step of knowing someone is to get an introduction of that person. Greetings to our honorable judges, my worthy opponents, my learned co-participant, and to all those present here in this competition. My name is Abdul Rahman, a student of grade 10, studying in Orchids, the International School, Jubilee Hills, Hyderabad. My hobbies are to read books, to write short stories, to appreciate nature, and of course, by playing games like cricket and badminton. And in the future, I would like to become a doctor and to serve humanity as a whole.
Wonderful, Abdul. Abdul, if I can give you some advice, if you could move the screen a little further back, because we're like really close to you right now and you seem to be going in and out of focus.
How about that now?
Much better, right?
Well, sorry, that was a phone call from my
No worries. Yep. All the best, Abdul. And if you're ready with your arguments, we will start your time for the debate now.
In every channel, we see competitions like Miss International, Miss India, Miss Universe. But have you ever wondered what these are? Well, let me tell you this. A beauty pageant or a beauty contest is a competition that has traditionally focused on judging and ranking the physical attributes, intelligence, talent, and the ability to answer judges' questions on various subjects like cinema, general knowledge, and other subjects. But now, contestants are judged on the basis of physical attributes, and their intelligence and abilities are masked by the contestant's physical beauty. The winner of a beauty pageant was called a beauty queen. The first known beauty pageant was the Eglinton Beauty Pageant, started in 1839 in Great Britain, where the Duchess of Somerset, Georgina Seymour, was proclaimed as the Queen of Beauty. Even though these beauty pageants like Miss International and Miss Universe are a form of leisure to viewers, these beauty pageants objectify women and cause offense to women. As number one, beauty pageants promote female nudity. The competitors of beauty pageants are asked to walk on the ramp in bikinis, which creates a sense of vulgarity, which people watching on the media and the audience watching the show would find pleasure in seeing the contestants in such a state. It also promotes female nudity, as these pageants are places where nude photographs can be clicked, thereby causing great distress. Number two, puts unnecessary pressure on participants, causing health problems. Competitors of beauty pageants are encouraged to diet, to do vigorous exercise, made to feel ugly, bad looking, and to induce eating disorders such as anorexia, an eating disorder where one feels overweight, even though the person is actually underweight, and bulimia, another eating disorder where one eats heavily and then tries to remove the eaten food by vomiting or by taking laxatives. This causes a massive toll on the competitor's health, thereby leading to body weakness and fatigue. Contestants can become targets of abuse by sexual predators like Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. They can also become targets of rape. Anita Kabi, who was a beauty pageant winner and a registered nurse, was kidnapped, sexually assaulted, and murdered by 5 men on the 2nd of February 1986. Upon losing a beauty pageant, contestants start getting extremely depressed and sad, thinking that they are not beautiful, are ugly, and worthless in front of people. In fact, 25% of participants who lost beauty pageants start feeling depressed, thinking that they are not beautiful and are worthless. This leads to extreme mental effects and compelling them to do suicide. Judging women primarily on their looks and not on their intelligence would lead to an objectification and subjugation of women, as intelligence and other qualities are not seen as a part of ideal femininity, and therefore not the thing a woman should aspire. The image of female beauty promoted by beauty pageants is culturally specific and Western. It does not matter how many Asian women have won the title of Miss World, which they can only do so if they take part in the swimsuit competition, where swimsuits may not be an appropriate dress in their culture. There were many demonstrations against Miss World by feminists and nationalists when it was held in Bangalore in 1996. Riots in Kaduna in northern Nigeria over Miss World 2002 led to more than 200 dead, which led to the contest being moved to London. Beauty contests failed to challenge harmful political attitudes to women. Despite talking about feminist keywords like empowerment and self-confidence, it doesn't do anything concrete to aid the liberty of women. By reinforcing looks as the most important feminine quality, they harm the liberty of women in general. The fact that the organizers of Miss World 2002 have no problem with holding the contest in Nigeria at the same time as a high-profile case in which a woman was due to be stoned for committing adultery exposes the competition's hypocrisy. It was then relocated to London after riots made it unsafe to hold in Nigeria. Since every woman wants to look more beautiful and come forth as a famous and a beautiful lady, most of the women going to perform in beauty pageants see it as a sole platform for showing their beauty and sometimes sexuality, even if it means it would hurt the self-esteem and self-respect of that woman and causes an offense to the society as a whole. Contestants of beauty pageants waste their hard-earned money by spending on expensive cosmetics and paying lavishly to beauticians and fashion designers. If that money can be spent on educating the uneducated, on providing charity to the poor and needy, we would not get to see as much poverty as we are seeing today. With this, I conclude by saying that beauty pageants are an affront to women. They must be stopped, as we Indians highly respect women and regard them as a symbol of power, compassion, dedication, intellect, education, and as our inspiration in many walks of life. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdul. Some very forceful arguments there. Let's see how the judges score you. Judges, you have access to the scoring sheets. I can see the scores coming in. Renuka ma'am, I have your scores. May I take them as final?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Burrett sir, I have your scores. May I take them as final?
Yes, yes, thank you, Shabayu.
Thank you so much, sir. Sumita ma'am, I have your scores as well. May I take them as final?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Abdul, if you can see the screen, these are your scores at the end of your first 5 minutes of arguments up on your screen now. Well done, well argued. And now we come to Megha. Megha, today's only woman participant. I believe this topic hits home harder than most others. Before you start, we would love to know you a little bit better.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Am I audible?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Good evening. My name is Megha Gopikutan and I am a student of class 10. My hobbies are singing, dancing and cooking with my father. And my favorite subject is biology. My ambition is to become a forensic surgeon and be a part of the investigation team.
Wonderful. So CSI Megha, if you are ready with your arguments, we will start your time now.
Crowns are not made of rhinestones. They are made of discipline, determination, consistency, and a rare trait called courage. Always walk like you deserve to be where you are. Good evening to all. My name is Megha Gopikutan from Indian Language School, Lagos, and I will be going against today's topic. The beauty pageants are an affront to women. Affront means to treat or regard someone with contempt or disrespect. But the truth is that instead of losing respect, women gain respect and admiration both, which strengthens their will, spirits, and ultimately adding to women empowerment. In beauty pageants, the first lesson you will learn is to believe in yourself. You have to be confident and love yourself regardless of the way that others see you. It helps you to become confident while learning to accept yourself just the way you are. Self-discovery and personal growth can come from working with an expert pageant coach who understands in depth how to use pageantry as a tool to develop the excellence within you. Speaking in front of a crowd is the number one fear that most people have. Well, in pageantry, there's plenty of opportunity to get in front of large groups of people on a regular basis and develop comfort level with being on stage. The ability to articulate one's thoughts into written and spoken words is priceless. Stress, pressure, disappointment don't have to be viewed as negative things. In fact, they can be powerful motivators to accelerate you to the next level. In pageantry, you will experience these to the fullest extent, and with guidance, you can learn how to flip them to work to your advantage. Each level having different themes helps them broaden their knowledge about diverse topics by involvement, and it opens opportunities to meet famous personalities all around the world and be part of big shows. Two of the most important aspects of doing a pageant is the on-stage question and the interview. These both help with communication skills. They help you to learn to speak elegantly and knowing to think before speaking and looking at multiple sides of situations. Point of beauty pageants is actually empowering and supporting women not only on the basis of qualification, but also on her personality, discipline, and intellect. One purpose of a beauty pageant is to promote community service. The Miss World organization raised more than £250 million for children's charities that help disabled and underprivileged children. And this is just one example of many. Most people think that this contest is only finding the most beautiful women, but actually it wants something much more beautiful. The winner will represent this prestigious organization. Wearing short or revealing dresses is just a part of the pageant, a way by which people can easily understand if the contestants have the confidence in themselves and if they can carry themselves well with poise and beauty as they walk the length of the ramp. It promotes fitness in all women. To be successful in the world of beauty pageants, one must stay dedicated to various processes. Contestants must practice their debating skills. They must be able to face the stage courageously and be vulnerable as they stand before others on a pageantry stage. She gets abundance of opportunities and, of course, a life-changing experience. Through these experiences, sportsmanship is practiced, success is celebrated, and there is encouragement offered readily. Many of today's youngsters follow and admire these beauty pageants and the contestants. After all, why would someone do something that would degrade themselves? It's actually a wonderful platform to connect with so many different people with diverse personalities. Imagine the entire world thinking you are pretty, smart, and intelligent. And imagine winning a huge prize, the admiration, and the prosperous responsibility you will officially get to serve the world and the community. That's what happens at a beauty pageant. Thank you, and over to the moderator.
Well done, Megha. Really well argued, very passionately delivered. I can see that if you go to a beauty pageant with a debating round, you're scoring very, very highly there. Let's see how the judges score you today. I can see your scores coming in. We'll just wait for all the scores to come in before we show them to you. Renuka ma'am, may I take that as final? Sumita ma'am, may I take that as final?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Burrett sir, may I take your score?
Yes, thank you. Yes, please, Shubhaya.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I have all three scores, and Megha, if you're looking at the screen, these are your scores after your first 5 minutes of arguments. Very, very well done. You said you're in 10th. So in a year's time, if you see these marks on your score sheet, you should be fairly happy.
Thank you, sir.
Well, this is where we circle back for the rebuttals. You have heard your friends, your colleagues, and your opponents argue. You get to rebut the points put forth by the opposition bench. Remember, you're not rebutting the opponent's school, So Achin and Abdul, you'll be rebutting points put forth by Shreyas and Megha. All right? Achin, if you could unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Achin, if you're ready with your rebuttal, we will start your time now.
Hearing the arguments of my worthy opponents have only strengthened my stand. For the motion, beauty pageants are an affront to women. I would like to contradict the point stated by my worthy opponent that beauty pageants help to build confidence and boost you to success. Young girls and women do not need to get the idea that they have to be the prettiest little princess in order to succeed. Most women, such as Annie Frank, Susan Anthony, and Malala, do not have to win a pageant or be on the front cover of the newspaper for them to do amazing things and become successful in life. If we are to value girls and women more and give them the same opportunities to represent and get equal opportunity and pay as their male counterparts, we have to stop representing them as objects. My worthy opponents had also stated that through beauty pageants, participants can learn to love themselves. This is a lie. As I had mentioned earlier, participants wear hair and makeup, proving that beauty pageants teach women that their worth is measured by their looks and reiterates the wrong idea that women be beautiful to earn status and power, which is totally absurd and wrong. My worthy opponents had also stated that the swimsuit competition has been replaced with the athletic wear competition. Firstly, this has been followed only in a few pageants. And secondly, the participants are still forced to wear revealing clothes under the athletic wear competition, hence being an ineffective and unnecessary change. Thank you, and over to the moderator.
Then Achin, judges, remember that row that you had left out for Achin earlier while scoring. This is when you fill that up. Bhattacharyya, I have your score. Thank you. Sumita ma'am, I have your score as well. Thank you so much. Renuka ma'am, I have your score as well. Thanks for that. Achin, we are going to create a bit of suspense. I'm going to play the evil moderator and not show you your score right away. We will go around the table, get all the rebuttals done before we show you any of the scores. Right? So Shreyas, it's your turn.
Should I start now?
Yeah, so if you're ready with your rebuttal, we will start your time now.
All right, so I definitely heard my challengers raise up some very good points. However, I couldn't notice a few flaws in them. For example, you mentioned how girls don't have to look like the prettiest princesses to become successful, and I 100% agree with that. However, you're missing the point. The point isn't to be successful, but to open up. The point is to build your skills, to become more talented, to open up to other people, meet friends, overcome stage fright. And on top of that, I'd also like to mention, I think Abdul mentioned that in the past years, many women have to go through bulimia, anorexia, and other food disorders in order to win the competitions. However, that is not true in the slightest. Over the past couple of years, there's been many plus-size women who have won beauty pageants. And as well as that, they don't have to wear revealing clothing. And again, even if they did, it does not rely solely on that. What matters is their preparation, dedication, hard work, courage. And again, what's so different from what they're doing and what we're doing? We're also speaking in public, in front of everyone, to overcome our fears. In my opinion, I don't see much difference in our public speaking competition and their beauty pageant. Thank you.
Well done, Shreyas. Some pointed rebuttal there. Let's see how the judges score you. Judges, if you could please put in Shreyas' scores. Bhattacharyya, I have your score. Thank you. Sumita ma'am, I have your score as well. Thank you. Renuka ma'am, I have your score as well. Thank you so much. Abdul, you're up next. Yeah. We have
are you able to see me?
I can hear you. I can see you. So if you're ready with your rebuttal, we will start your time now.
As my opponent said, beauty pageants portray ladies as good? If they do so, why are ladies protesting in Bangalore and in Nigeria? And also they said that they have raised so much money. Well, how much money would go into organizing these debates? And also, why? I would like to say this. Let these beauty pageants portray ladies like Mother Teresa, who has helped the society, like President Pratibha Devi Singh Patil, like Srimati Indira Gandhi, like Kalpana Chawla, like Sunita Williams. Let them portray ladies as those that I have mentioned. And I hope you have watched Shakuntala Devi movie. She wears sari at every show. Wears sari at every show. I would like to say this as an end note. Let them not be portrayed as those who are ready to shame themselves, to kill their self-respect, to kill their self-esteem, portray themselves as nude, where others can get photographs of themselves, can find where the audience can find pleasure, and all. Instead, let them portray those as an inspiration, as symbols of power, compassion, intellect, and finally, inner beauty. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdul. Let's see how the judges scored that rebuttal. Burrett sir, I have your score. Thank you. Sumita ma'am, I have your score as well. Thank you. Renuka ma'am, I have your score too. We have all three scores in. So now it's time for Megha.
Yes,
Megha, who scored the highest in her first 5 minutes of arguments. Let's see how you fare on the rebuttal. Megha, if you're ready with your rebuttal. Yeah, Megha, I can hear you. Can you just give us one more sound check?
Hello?
Yeah, all good. If you're ready with your rebuttal, Megha, we will start your time now.
For the person whose only exposure to beauty pageants is from what they see on television, it's difficult to understand why anyone would choose to do a beauty pageant. But there are definite benefits, or else pageantry wouldn't be a multi-billion-dollar industry. My worthy opponent spoke about outer beauty. I'm astonished to know that my fellow opponents can measure outer beauty, which I truly believe is beyond impossible. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. And moreover, beauty pageants do not focus only on outer beauty, but instead, many other categories are also introduced to the contestants to judge their thought processes, patriotism, kindness, attitude, their talents, and them as an overall individual performer. Now, coming to health, to even enter a beauty pageant, the contestant must fall within a healthy BMI range, which actually benefits the individual, helping them keep fit and healthy, very much required in today's lifestyle. About mental health, as I mentioned earlier, the journey and experience of beauty pageants will help you flip stress, pressure, and disappointment to work to your advantage. Organizing a beauty contest doesn't mean it disrespects other women. As we all know, different women have different talents, and everyone has the opportunity to show their talents in different fields. So I would like to conclude by highlighting the fact that yes, I do agree with my fellow opponent's point that beauty pageant is also a tool. Wait, let me add, a fantastic tool to achieve heights. Thank you. And over to the moderator.
Thank you so much, Megha. An interesting turn of phrase at the last moment. Let's see how the judges are scoring you. Burrett sir, I have your score. Thank you. Sumita ma'am, I have your score as well. Thank you. And Renuka ma'am, I have your score too. Well, all four people have debated. All four have rebutted the others' points. And this is where I should be showing them their scores. Unfortunately, I'll make them wait, because this is when we get to tell you a little bit about ourselves. We at Notebook are an edtech brand. We use small, crisp videos to bring to life some of the topics that you find in your book. In fact, let me correct that. A style that I borrowed from Megha, that's all the topics from your textbook. So whichever class you're in, you would always find a notebook video, a short and crisp notebook video that is 6 to 10 minutes in length for that particular topic. What that does is help in two ways. One, it helps the teachers that when they're starting a class, they can start with a short video. You as a student would start your class watching a video for 6 to 10 minutes, clarifying the concept a little better, Now you know exactly how photosynthesis occurs, or exactly how laws of motion take place, or how something in history went down. And then the teacher's class for the next half an hour goes on as a further exploration of the topic. And second is 6 months later, when you have your exams and you would have forgotten some of the stuff that you have learned in class, you can open the same video on your personal device, whether it's a smartphone or a laptop, and get access to that same lesson, which not only helps you revise the lesson itself, but also reminds you of what the teacher had taught back in class that day. What I will do now is show you a short clip of one of those notebook videos for you to better understand what I'm getting at. If you can roll the video, please.
Hello students, welcome to Notebook. On May 4th, 2019, Chinese President Xi Jinping celebrated the fierce patriotism of the students and demonstrators of the countrywide protests, which had started on the 4th of May 1919 in Tiananmen Square in Beijing. The students and protesters had believed that the government had no self-respect as it was selling out China to foreign powers. They resented Japanese occupation of Shandong in China. The students' movement had turned violent and some were arrested as a result. China's current strict regime would never have allowed student protests to take the massive form it took in 1919. Last year, Xi Jinping still honored the patriotism and vigor of the students, which had happened 100 years back. Physician, philosopher, and politician Sun Yat-sen was engaged in decade-long rebellions till the overthrow of the Qing dynasty through the Xinhai Revolution. Warlordism or feudalism was still prevalent in China around this time, and many wanted a democratic government free from foreign control and feudal authority. China had come in contact with the West when trade links had opened up between China and Britain and other countries. They were influenced by Western philosophy and thought that Mr. Science and Mr. Democracy could save them from subjugation to foreign powers, bring national unity, and help them become a sovereign nation. The people who wanted a democratic and progressive China were also influenced by past Qing reformers like Kang Youwei and Liang Qichao. These reformers had campaigned for modernization of China by breaking links with Confucianism or traditional Chinese philosophy and ethics, which they thought was hindering the country's progress. The May 4th protesters also directed the government's attention to the social, economic, and gender inequalities existing in their society. Chinese women were subjected to derogatory practice of foot binding, for example. The May 4th protests sparked a demand for anti-imperialism, a China free from foreign concessions, created sentiments of nationalism among the Chinese, and also influenced the leadership of the Communist Party of China formed in the later years. Students like Chen Duxiu and Li Dazhao often occupied leadership positions within this party. The Kuomintang, or the National People's Party, and the Communist Party of China, CCP, became the controlling forces in the country.
Well, that was a short clip from one of the notebook videos. We have here with us Achin Bhattacharyya. Achin is the founder and CEO of Notebook. Achin, if you could please come in and give us your views about the debate. Achin is a chartered accountant by training, and before starting Notebook, he was a director at Deloitte. And then one fine morning, he decided that people across the globe needed to find a way to study easier, more fun, and something that was readily available. Achin, if you're there, over to you.
Good afternoon to our friends from Lagos, Nigeria, and good evening to our friends from India. To my mind, the approximate flying distance between Lagos and Hyderabad should be somewhere around 8,000 kilometers. And it's wonderful to see schools and students who are from two different parts of the world coming together on 0 hour to promote the cause and spirit of public speaking and for free and fair exchange of views. Megha, Achin, Shreyash, and Abdul. Really wonderful to see all of you today. I admire your confidence, research, which leads to great content, and articulate deliberation. The importance of public speaking in today's age doesn't need any elaboration. It's a lifelong asset. Irrespective of any career, any profession that you choose for yourself, the art of public speaking will always help you, and it's as important as your domain knowledge. However, I think what is very important for all of you is to realize and understand the purpose at a macro level. So when you step out of your school campus and step into a much larger world, the society will look forward to your inputs and views on various issues, as debate, discussion, and public discourse are at the heart of any vibrant democracy. So please ensure that you never lose your sense of purpose when you debate on various issues with your fellow citizens, as your endeavor should always be to find out what is right and not necessarily who is right. Also, I guess listening is a very important art. Unless you are flexible and tolerant enough to listen to each other's views, you may miss out on some very important perspective which someone may bring to the table. Now, we at Notebook are extremely humbled at being able to host 0 hour for students and Together for Education webinar for our esteemed educators and parents. Today, as we have more than 10,000 videos in public domain, similar to the one that you just saw, which are accessed by more than 1 million schoolgoers, I guess, indeed, we are very happy with the kind of response that we have got. I again thank all the participants, and to me, irrespective of the result, I think this is very important. What is most important is the spirit of competition. To me, all of you are winners today for your commendable performance, which I'm sure will only get better and better with passage of time. I also thank both the adjudicators, principals of both the schools, and the teachers who have helped in shaping all the contestants. Indeed, all of us are forever indebted to our teachers for their priceless contribution to our lives. I also congratulate the proud parents. Your children have really made all of us proud. Every reason to celebrate for you. And I also thank the audience for their enthusiastic response and encouragement and support to our young debaters. It's important to come together as civil society, especially during this hour of pandemic, and keep the spirits of our children high. Come what may, we will not let anything come in the way of our education of our children. I look forward to see all of you in our next 0 hour session tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you, take care, and goodbye. Over to you, Shubhayu.
Thank you, Achin. Thank you for the encouragement. We are also very proud to have partnered with Save the Children. Save the Children is an NGO that works on saving a lot of underprivileged children from premature death, especially children under the age of 5. They do a phenomenal amount of work with children across the globe, and they've just completed 100 years last year. Here's a message from their CEO, Ms. Bidisha Pillai.
Save the Children was born in 1919. 100 years is not a milestone that many organizations or individuals can claim to have reached. And for us, it's been a tireless, relentless journey to ensure that every child has access to their rights. Every child has a voice. But when we look back at 100 years, because 100 is also a time to reflect, we wonder what it would be like to live in a world where children don't need to be saved, perhaps we could live in a world where Save the Children does not need to exist. And so as we look at the future, we envision a world which is much kinder to its children. A world in which children no longer need to be protected from violence, where children are not needlessly dying before they turn 5, where every child is going to school, is learning, is playing, and is on that path towards fulfilling their full potential. As we turn 100, we pledge to work towards that future of a much kinder and brighter world for children. Every day, every hour, every minute, we will continue on that path. But we also know we can't do it alone. We want to work closely with the communities, with our partners, with the government, and most importantly with the children themselves. They are going to be the change makers of tomorrow. Children like Onuyara, like Rahul, like Salman, like Mamta, they are the ones who are breaking gender stereotypes. They are challenging social norms, and they are changing the world and the lives of themselves and also children around them. We pledge to continue working with them, alongside them, to ensure that every child gets the right start. I'm Bidisha Pillai, and I invite you to join Save the Children in our commitment to ensure that every child gets the right start.
Well, I do believe I have created enough suspense because there are 4 contestants staring intently at their screens and quite angry with me that I'm keeping them on hold. Well, these are your marks after your 5 minutes of arguments and 2 minutes of rebuttal. Achin, you average 83. Shreyas is at 82. Abdul at 81. And Megha at 95. I received your private message about a particular score being, has to be explained. Here's the thing. Every judge scores on his or her own discretion. We are happy to share the score sheets and details with you once the debate is over. So just hold on until then. More importantly, these are the school averages. The Indian Language School, Lagos, Nigeria, averaging 89. And Orchids International School, Jubilee Hills, Hyderabad, averaging 82. Which means a margin of 7 points, and which is where you, the audience, come in. As Achin was saying, you support, you've been the force behind these schools, but this is where you play a much more active role. I will put up a poll on the screen. You will see the 4 speakers listed on that poll. Take your pick on who you think has been the best speaker today. The school from where the best speaker comes gets 25 extra points, clearly a lot more than the margin right now. So you literally have the swing vote here. And if you can see the screen, you should see the 4 names up on your screen now. You have 1 minute to cast your vote. So think carefully and vote away. I guess the participants can also see how the voting is going. We are about half the time in, 85% votes in. If every democracy around the world would have had our voting rates, we would have been a very different country, or a very different world actually. About 10 more seconds to go. And we are at a minute. The poll has ended, and these are the results on your screen. With a whopping 78% votes, Megha, the audience agrees with the judges in calling you the best speaker of the day. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Also means
Thank you.
the Indian Language School, Lagos, Nigeria gets the 25 valuable additional points. While I am tabulating the final scores to show it to you, if I can invite Mr. Burrett back. Sir, we have had some scintillating debates today. Would love to hear your feedback on that. Sir, are you there?
Yes, yes, Achin. Sorry, Shubhayu, I'm here.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much for getting me back, Shubhayu. Really well done, both the Indian, the ILS, Lagos, and Orchids, Hyderabad. Excellent work. I like the number in the audience. I mean, you had a lot of fan following, well debated, everyone. And I support what Shubhayu said. If even 10% of our country can debate the way you do, we'd be a different place altogether. Many schools would want people with your ability. Achin, you were very good, you progressed logically, you analyzed the topic very admirably. You had a lot of good points in your stats. Megha, you won the debate. You were very outspoken, so clear, you connected with your enthusiasm and earnestness. Abdul, you were in class 10. You seem to be in a bit of a hurry, but you're going to learn along the way, my friend. And Shreyas, you did very well under the trying circumstances. You seem to have just got off a flight and put your suitcase down and made it to the mic. Very well done, all of you. I had a great time judging this debate. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. As always, you are a huge source of inspiration and encouragement to both me and the participants out here. So this is how it stacks up. Indian Language School, Lagos, Nigeria. 114 points on the board. Very well done. Orchids International Hyderabad with 82. Nothing to really lament about. I think that was some phenomenal debating by both of you. Very well done. And from this point onwards, you go from strength to strength. If I may, and I've done a bit of debating myself in school and college. When you get a topic that is slightly loaded like this, right? Calling beauty pageants as an affront to women has been done for ages now. You've spoken about the riots that have taken place over this issue, right? The people going against the motion have a bit of a tougher task, right? We used to fall back on two very simple strategies whenever we would be arguing against calling a social evil a social evil. One would be we used to call that strategy MTS, that is mirrors the society. Agreed, it's wrong, but the point of the debate is not that. It mirrors the society, right? Maybe that is something that you could think of. The people who went for the motion, commendable job there. It's very easy to bash something. It's very difficult to logically point out why it's not right. So I really think you guys covered your bases very well there. Well, with that said, the two teams very well done. But the final winner for today, the Indian Language School, Lagos, Nigeria. I guess celebrations are in order. And with that, we leave you, ladies and gentlemen, until we meet you again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Indian Standard Time for another such scintillating debate. Until then, take care and goodbye.